I have a bit of a confession. I am 20. I was born in 2004. I did not play any of the original games, nor did I play via Red, Leaf Green, or any of the remakes. I got halfway through Let's Go and gave up because I was bored. I'm not a big fan of Kanto. I didn't grow up with it. The closest thing to that for me was Pokemon Go. So I don't have quite the same attachment as a lot of people do, but I thought it was quite interesting to see what I thought of these Pokemon given that aspect. So with that being said, let's go into the tier list. Starting with the starters, Bulbasaur. I love this little frog bow bun onion creation. He's going straight into A tier with a lot of stars. Okay, Ivysaur is just slightly bigger, slightly uglier, not cool enough. It's going in C. Venusaur as well. Frog plant thing. It's kind of ugly. I feel like it's definitely the least popular of the starters, so I can happily put that in C tier. Charmander though, come on. Who doesn't put Charmander in A tier? Charmeleon. Charmeleon's kind of cool. I dig the colour a bit more. I think it goes in A tier as well. Okay, right. Contrarian opinion. Charizard is super overrated. I'm in that part of the fan base that feels like it gets way too much love and attention. This thing and Pikachu take all the merch, everything. I just want some fresh stuff, man. Because of that, Charizard's going in B tier. It's a good design. It's a cool Pokemon. It's popular for a reason. But I just can't bring myself to... Okay. Squirtle, S tier. Squirtle Squad.
Squirtle.
In that we trust. Nobody can tell me this is an S tier design. It's a little turtle boy. Look at his adorable little face. Okay, Wartortle, not as cool. The Blastoise, best of the final stages by far. It's going in S tier as well. Caterpie, just a little bug type. A little twig on its face. It's kind of cute, so I'm putting it in B tier. Metapod sucks. I'm sorry. There's got no personality. It's literally just a green cocoon. Nothing to it. Like, it's not got a face, it's not got any expression. It is useless. D tier. First D tier. Okay, Butterfree. They've done better butterfly designs. The only reason it's popular is because of Bye Bye for Butterfree. I don't think it's quite D tier, but it's going in C. Weedle. I'm putting this below Caterpie. It stinks. It stinks, bro. Like, it's just a little spiky bug. Kakuna, though, I think is way better than Metapod. I don't know what it is about, like, because they're both Cocoon designs, but this one has way more personality. It's just way cooler. I think it's a B tier, to be honest. Beedrill, one of the best designs in this region. It's just a B, but it's got drill hands. Need I say more? S tier. Right. Pidgey. Okay, we're going to develop a theme as we go through. It's just a bird. It's not a bad bird, but it's just a bird. Like, it's not really a Pokemon, is it? So it's going in C tier. Pidgeotto, it's got into its emo phase. Shout out Mark. It's grown its hair long, and okay, but when it turns into Pidgeot, it pulls off the long hair. And over the years, I've grown to appreciate it a lot more. It's got a great card in TCG. It is pretty annoying when you see the opponent get it out though. Search out any card. Frustrating. Mega Pidgeot was sick. So this guy can go in B. It's up there with Zard. Okay, here we go again. It's just a rat. Why did we need this? I don't get it. But I suppose we needed a basic rat Pokemon, but it's just so annoying, and it's kind of in the same category as Zubat as like being annoying. You see it everywhere, and it's just constant random encounters, especially with Raticate. I'm pretty sure I want to say it was in Sprout Tower or somewhat in a similar tower in Johto, because again, I played it when I was very young, Soul Silver. Okay, these guys are both going in. Yeah. No, Raticate's worse than Rattata, definitely. Okay, Spearow. It's a slightly more angry bird, you could say. But it did create the first bit of conflict in the anime, and for that reason alone, it can go in D tier. No, we just B tier. Okay, right. I'm going to go for a 2-for-1 here. Who at Game Freak was like, right, we're going to design our own universe of fictional creatures, and we're like, we need a rubber chicken Pokemon. Not once, but twice. Who? Look at this thing. It's so ugly. And then this thing, where is it? What? If it wasn't for the flames on it, this would be a straight D tier as well. But it just does enough to rescue it into C tier. Okay, guys. 1 seconds backwards. It's Snake. Okay, right. In all seriousness, it is just that. It's a rattlesnake. It is kind of cool though. It can go in B tier. Yo. What's Arbok backwards, guys? Yo! They got really creative with these names. To be fair, I did find out about this when I was a bit older than I'm willing to admit. It was probably when I was like 8 or 9. But to be fair, that's probably when I learned about the Pokemon, because they weren't around as much when I was a kid. And, like, nowadays, like, we've had like Pokemon Go and things like that where Gen 1 has like kind of surged back to popularity, but like I was in an era where that wasn't really the case. So I'm just going to whack it in B tier as well. They're just solid designs. Okay, right. The Electric Mouse, mascot of the franchise. It's Pikachu! My opinion on it is basically the exact same as Charizard. Let other things have the spotlight. It was Ash's partner, so for that reason, I do like it. In Pokemon Horizons, Captain Pikachu is sick. For that reason, I like it. So, you know what? I'm actually going to be more generous than I normally am to the little rodent, and I'm going to put it in... Okay, no. Top of B tier. It and Charizard, the two poster boys, right next to each other. I actually personally prefer Raichu as a design way more. I think it's sick. Not as much as Alolan Raichu, but it's still a good design. Okay, these two little goobers, I love. I don't know why, but I just love Sandshrew and Sandslash. I just think they're sick. Ground types are a cool type. Yeah, they're both going in S tier. They're some of my favourites from the region. Okay, right. Nidoran lines. I don't know what it is. They just don't really do it for me. Like, I do like the theories around, I think it's Nidoqueen being like a clone of the Nidoran line, hence they're separate species, they can't breed. Things like that is really interesting, but just the Pokemon designs in themselves are just somewhat lacking. They're just kind of ambiguous rat monster hybrid kaiju things. I think Nidoking is the best design. I think the male line overall is just way better, but the female line is somewhat lacking, and the cups are a bit sus. Okay, so C, yeah, that Whack-A-Mole C tier. I'm not a misogynist, I swear. And yeah, that pretty much does it for the Nidoran. Okay, right. There are some Pokemon early that are like, right, we want to appeal to the girls, so we're just going to make ambiguous pink thing. Why would a girl want... Okay, apparently some people do, but I think girls and boys can just like cool designs, not just ambiguous pink shit. So, for that reason, they're all going in C tier. Actually, no, Jigglypuff I kind of like. Wigglytuff's fugly. So is Clefable. Actually, I don't like either of them. Yeah, that's enough said about the pink guys. You might come from the moon, but no. Vulpix is adorable. Ninetales is really cool. Then they don't quite live up to the Alolan version to me personally, but there they are. Like I said earlier, Rattata, Zubat haunts my nightmares still. Every cave, it's Screech everywhere. Like, I remember just some of the caves in Diamond and Pearl, just ugh. But the design of Zubat is kind of alright. Golbat, however, no. What is that wide gob? Just jam a pig in there. Okay, right. Oddish, Potted Plant, kind of basic, not bad. C tier. Gloom, bad. Poison, ugly, done. There. Vileplume, it's fine. It's a big plant. Okay, Paras and Parasect. Didn't really used to like as a kid. Ever since Legends Arceus, you're like, yo, these zombie crab things are kind of interesting, and they are genuinely menaces in that game. I think anyone who's played the game can relate. These things are scary, and for that reason, I think they can both go into B tier. Previously, I might have had them lower, but they can be there for now. Okay, I'm a subscriber to the theory that Venonat and Caterpie lines had their evolutions swapped. Like, look at the crests on the top of their heads. I feel like it just makes sense that this was originally the line. They just maybe slightly tweaked the colour palettes a bit. But even that, like, look at Venonat compared to Butterfree. I can't even find it now. It's on there somewhere. There we go. Like, you can't tell me that those aren't the same evolution line. Like, it just is. But to be fair, Venomoth's ugly, bit muted coloured. The blue is nice and the shiny. I actually got one randomly in Area 0. To be fair, I think most people did really. But no, it's kind of ugly overall. I'm pretty happy with all those placements for them really. Okay, Diglett I like. It's a little goofy boy. It's kind of iconic for the memes alone really. It can go at the bottom of A tier. Whereas Dugtrio, why are there 3 bros just chilling in a hot tub together? Why did they go from being 1 person to 3 people all in one? How is that one being? I do not understand it. It makes no sense, and for that reason... Okay, it's not as bad as some of these designs, so it's just going in C. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, Meowth. Straight A tier. It's iconic from the anime. That's the name. Okay, Persian. It's fine. It's just a big cat. Whereas Psyduck, I had some hand-me-downs as a kid from my dad's cousin, who was all the original like Wizards of the Coast card, like Fossil up until Gym Challenge, which is the only card from Gym Challenge I got was Misty Psyduck, and I thought it was the coolest thing as a kid that there was a trainer's Pokemon on a card. So for that reason, and just its personality in general, like Concierge, I think Psyduck can go S tier. Golduck can go A because it evolves from Psyduck really. Mankey and Primeape, fighting monkeys. Infernape may have done it better in my generation, but they're still cool designs. So they're both going to A tier. I like me some fighting monkeys. I was born in the year of the monkey, so why not? Okay, Growlithe, Arcanine, incredible. Fire dogs, what's not to love? A and then S, I'm saying. Poliwag's adorable. It can go to the bottom of A. Poliwhirl, potentially even cuter, you know. Can go in A. Whereas then he got sent to the Slammer, bro. He got sent to the Slammer. He's been out of education a few years. He's had a rough patch. Now when he's in prison, he's in the gym, and he's gotten to be this buff man who's ever so slightly bigger, has got a massive chip on his shoulder, and is kind of just not as cool as Poliwhirl. So for that reason, he's going in D tier. Okay, Abra. It's kind of cool. It's a unique design. I couldn't tell you what it is other than annoying to catch, but it can go there. Kadabra, on the other hand, this spoon bending thing is a menace to society. I picture this guy waiting outside the school gates, trying to do magic tricks on the kids, and then tricking them into the back of a van. So for that reason, he's going D. Then I don't know what it is. Goes from 1 spoon, weird. 2 spoons, fine. Because they kind of look like maracas, and I dig that. So it's going in A tier. Machop, don't know. He's just a little grey dude who punches things. I kind of like it. Machoke, kind of bigger, girthier man who punches things. Kind of like it. Machamp, he has more fists. Do with that as you please. Speaking of doing what you please, those are some interesting shaped mouths. Don't really like them. Can't lie. They can go in C. Victory Bell, I think the idea of a Venus Flytrap Pokemon is kind of cool, but it just doesn't really land. It's kind of ugly. All in C tier. Toadskrull is funny. This guy's just kind of there. So for that reason, they're all going in C tier. I feel like that's my general opinion of the Kanto region, to be honest. But maybe my opinions have changed over the years. Maybe I like them a bit more now. Okay, right. Geodude, love this little nugget. Shout out to Gentle Dude. Shiny's incredible. Little gold chicken nugget. I love him. Graveler, on the other hand. This man went from being the king of primary school to then going to secondary school, getting bullied, getting a face full of lumpy acne, putting on a few pounds, and he even got an extra set of arms somehow. He's literally a mutant. Let's go and like trade it off to Machamp to actually make him fine again. He's going in D tier. Golem, on the other hand, he's cool. He's a little reptile rock thing. Kind of cool. Okay, Ponyta, love. Ponyta is brilliant. A fire horse. It's just cute. It's pretty. One of the best shinies ever. And then they ruined it. How do you turn something from horse to a unicorn and make it worse? Explain. I don't get it. Like, they could have made it a Pegasus, given it wings, and then it would have been sick. Like, imagine just fire wings. Like, Charizard is a fire type with wings and is the most popular Pokemon of all time. Imagine a Pegasus with fire wings. Like, why didn't they do that? Okay, I can't let that ruin it too much, what they didn't do. It's still a fine design, but it's not one of the best. Slowpoke, he's just a little goofy boy. We love little goofy boys on this channel. So the goofy boy gets B tier. Slowbro, he can go with him. He's goofy as well, but he's stupid. He's so stupid. I couldn't have a conversation with him, but there we go. Magnemite, it's a magnet and a screw. It's not the most inventive, but I kind of like Objectmons, and Magnemite I've always just liked for no apparent reason. It can go about there. Magneton, okay, right. Unlike Dugtrio, this has a reason. This has magnetic force pulling them together. Therefore, they are now one. It makes sense. It makes a ton of sense.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Let's whack him. Next to Magnemite, screw it. Farfetch'd, this little Ronin leak guy needs to be treated with the respect he deserves. He's an MVP of TCG Pocket, and now with Surfetch'd, he actually gets to become a knight. He's been recognised for his years of service to Pokemon, and for that reason he can go bottom of A tier. Dojo is kind of cute. See, these other birds could learn a thing or two. This thing has 2 heads. When do you see that in the real world? It can go top of B tier. Dojo though, even though it's got another extra head, it's kind of ugly. So for that reason, top of C. Seal Dugong, again, they're just animals. We kind of are in that territory with Gen 1, but they're fine, they're cute, they can go B tier. Okay, right. Now we've got Grimer. It's just a pile of sludge. But it's a cool pile of sludge. So I will go middle B tier. Hey guys, what's muck backwards? I won't repeat it, because that's not family friendly. That's not what we do on this channel. There was some designer who woke up and chose violence, or maybe other emotions, when they woke up for work that day, and designed these 3 all in a row. What were they watching? Okay, right. Muck there, Shelter there, Cloyster. The less said about its appearance, the better. You can use your imagination. And if you're imagining what I think you're imagining, you disgust me. Okay, right. Ghastly. This line is all sick. It's one of the best. It's one of the best ghost lines they've ever created. AA and then Gengar and S for me. I love Gengar. It's mega, especially, and it's shiny. Beautiful. Okay, Onyx is just iconic. Don't know how it lost to a Pikachu in the anime. Sprinklers, apparently. But it's iconic. It's one of Broxmon's. It's going up here with the other icons of Gen 1 in my eyes. Okay, I've already said about a few going to prison here. But Drowsy and Hypno, they're not going to prison. Because these are serial criminals. They abduct people for a living and they've been getting away with it for 29 years. These things are freaks. They don't just wait outside the schools. They go and find people in alleys, hypnotize them and take them back to their place and do all sorts of things and then dump them in a river. These things need to go. Straight in D tier, no questions. Okay, right. Another one that's just an animal, but I like crabs.
Hello, I like money.
What's not to like about crabs? They can both go in B tier. Okay, right. This one is a Pokemon mimic. I think it's the first time they've ever done like a real mimic in the franchise, and it's cool. Voltorb is sick. Like a Pokeball Pokemon, sorry, with a awesome blue shiny is epic. But then they literally just flipped the design for the evolution, which was kind of lazy. Plus, it looks like the face is just drawn on. It looks straight out of Castaway, so Wilson's going in D tier. Okay, right. Voltorb though can go in B. I like it. Egg Pokemon. This isn't really fair on Execute, but I lived off eggs for years, and I developed an awful intolerance to them where now they do awful, terrible things to me. and I am in agony whenever I touch them. So for that reason, D tier. Not really fair, but eggs are getting it in the end. So, Executor, Alolan Executor, I like. This one, not so much. It's eh. Okay, Cubone, one of my sister's favourite Pokemon. She doesn't really engage with the franchise much, but she played tiny bit as a kid, and Cubone's just that adorable. Straight to S tier. Marowak died, and the story between Cubone and Marowak and Lavender Town is still beautiful, but it's not quite as cute, and it's not quite cool, so it's gonna go top of B tier. This might be a niche reference, but has anyone seen The Amazing World of Gumball? It's literally just a thumb with a face drawn on it, and it can kick things. It's ugly. No. D tier. Hitmonchan though, it's a lot cooler. I know some people don't like when they give Pokemon clothes, but I dig this one. It can go solid B tier. Lickitung, okay. I know you're expecting me to say this looks like another member of the Sex Offender Shuffle gang.
We were bad, but now we're good. Moving into your neighborhood.
But I actually like him. He's kind of goofy. As long as he's not caught near a school, I think he's fine. He's not hurting anybody. He can go in B tier. I like him. He's a goofy boy. Like I say, we like goofy boys on this channel. Okay, coughing. It's kind of just there. It's kind of funny that I'm thinking Japanese, if I'm correct. They named coughing and wheezing after like the most polluted American cities and just kind of dumping on America. We respect that, so they can go. Who cares? C tier. Okay, Rhyhorn, Rhydon. Debates over whether Rhydon was the first Pokemon. I think it's sick. Rhino Pokemon that's rocky and turned into a kaiju, kind of ruined by Rhyperior, but for the sake of Gen 1, these are solid designs. We like seeing our mum go Rhyhorn racing. We won't speak about how our mum was riding a Rhyhorn, it's just a racer. Okay, another member of the pink gang I don't really like too much, but it does its job pretty well as a Pokemon Center bitch, so it can go B tier. Okay, Tangela and Ted's little red boots from How I Met Your Mother. He's a little guy. He can go C tier. He's fine. There's not really much to him. He's just a lump of vines. Kangaskhan, though, oh my god, I love this pose in this image. I love it. Like, there was a few like odd spin-off episodes in the anime. I think it was like Johto era that I loved with Kangaskhan. The Mega's a really cool idea as well. It's a kangaroo Pokemon, but it's a huge menace instead, so A tier. Horsey, this just gives me like Cubert vibes. The only reason I know who Cubert is because of what's the Adam Sandler movie? Pixels. But yeah, this guy can go B tier as well. Oh, oops. Seadra, on the other hand, I don't know. The spikiness kind of puts me off. It just doesn't hit the right vibe. It can go C tier. Okay, no, these things are ugly goldfish. They're not even just goldfish. They're ugly goldfish. They're going in D tier. Boring, unimaginative, ugly. Done. I love Staryu and Starmie. Don't know why. I just love them. They're going in A tier. Yeah, I've always had a thing for Starfish, and
What did he say?
I think the DC, like, Starro, kind of, that plotline in some of the animated series as a kid, I always thought was really cool, so Staryu and Starmie. They don't have a face, but they're cool. I don't get it. Mr. Might. Okay, Lickitung might not be a member of Sex Offender Shuffle Gang. This guy certainly is. This guy needs to stay in his box. And he definitely has a weird thing for Ash's mum, so he's going straight in D tier. Cypher might not be quite as cool as Scizor, but he's still A tier. 100%. It's a sick design. Jinx. Okay. Who thought this was a good idea, Game Freak? Who? It literally used to be like a black stereotype. It was literally wearing blackface in the original. It tries to be sexy as well. It just doesn't work. Just get rid of it, please. Electabuzz, similar to Scizor. Like, it's not quite as cool as the evolution, but Cypher's still cool. Electabuzz is cool. Electivire and Scizor are just cooler. Magmar, on the other hand, is kind of a counterpart of Electabuzz, but not on the corner scale. It's no. Okay, Pinsir. It's fine. It's kind of cool. It's one of the better bug types. Tauros is iconic. Ash caught like 30 of them. It's a cool ball. It's just a ball, but it's cool. Okay, right. Magikarp. It might be utterly useless, but for that reason, it's iconic and I love it. And it's got an absurd amount of merch for some reason. So it can go A tier. Gyarados. Yeah, especially after my recent Nuzlocke run. You'll have to stay tuned to find out about that. We'll put it in S tier. Lapras. It's a plesiosaur with a giant shell. It's bulky. Again, it's a pretty iconic mon from Gen 1. It was one of the more sought after Pokemon when Go first came around. It was pretty rare. It can go in A tier. Ditto. I'm going to be surprised. I love that it's just a failed clone of Mew. It's not confirmed, but it is. And for that reason alone, the fact that it was an accident, I really relate to it. And I like it. So for that reason, this goofy guy can hit S tier. I love its kind of gimmick with some of the cards with the fake smile, and I love Ditto, man. Eevee, kind of part of the overrated mascot gang with these guys, but I like it a lot more than these guys. It can go E tier. This one, for the internet's sins, is going D tier. You know, Jolteon then. I like it. It's solid. I don't like it as much as a lot of people do, but I can go B tier. Flareon I like a lot less. It's my least favourite out of all the evolutions. It's going C tier. Porygon, kind of, funnily I say Vaporeon is paying for its sins. Porygon has been unfairly punished for 20 years for Pikachu giving kids epileptic fits. Justice for Porygon. It can go top of B tier. Omanyte might be controversial, especially to all the King Helix fans. It doesn't actually look that much like a Pokemon to me. I feel like it's just slightly off. I don't know whether it's just because like it looks like the things from Splatoon or like any squid like in the ones in Mario. I don't know what it is, but there's something off about it. It's not terrible, but it's going C tier, and so is Omastar, unfortunately. Kabuto, there's not much to its design. It's literally just like a rock crab thing. Like, it's just the fossil if it came to life. Like, there's not much extra to it. But, yeah, it can go B tier, it's fine. Kabutops, on the other hand, a prehistoric predator. Sex offender shuffle gang, unite. It can go A tier. Okay, right. Aerodactyl. It's a cool dinosaur bird thing, fossil. Again, it was a apex predator in its time. It deserves an A tier. Snorlax. We love Snorlax. I might not be in that stage of my life right now, but I definitely related to it during lockdown as well. And it's just iconic. Its whole thing is being a roadblock. I love it. Articuno, definitely my favourite of the birds. Straight S tier. Favourite of the legendaries from this gen. Zapdos, still a cool design. And these are the only two legendary birds in my books. We do not speak about the monstrosity that I put in C tier, and is now about to move down to D because I hate it. Okay, controversial take. Dragonite. It's only going in A tier. I like it, but it's a little too goofy, not quite cool enough, and I actually prefer Dratini and Dragonair. If we got an evolution for these two that's closer to Gyarados, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Mew's iconic, the ancestor of all Pokemon, although then being retconned with Arceus, I don't know really how that works, but I love it. It's a little anime as well, so there we go. Okay, right. One of the most iconic Pokemon of all time. Where does this fit into my tier list? Fun story, I went to a convention about a month and a half ago and some guy was walking around with one of the giant tier lists. I pulled out Mewtwo. It was a legendary tier list. I think in comparison to most other legendaries, it's relatively uninteresting, and for that reason I put it in D tier. However, when you put it in the context of it being a Pokemon from the first generation, where the designs and the inspirations weren't as complex, it's a sick design. And it's better than most of the other things on here. And it's still a cool Pokemon, just it doesn't have as much intrigue or cool design aspects as a lot of other legendaries. And it does have an incredible story in the anime/movie, so I think I can still make room for it in the S tier. I do like it. Okay, now I've got everything in their respective tiers, so it's time to pick out of the S tier who from Gen 1 was the very best like no one ever was. He's already in pole position as it is. It's Squirtle. This guy from the Squirtle Squad King with the shades, he was so cool, Crocodile literally came along to copy him later. I love this man. He's adorable. I literally have a shirt right here. I love this Pokemon, and I think it's my favourite from Gen 1. We'll see when we get onto looking at other generations. I like a lot of other generations more, but Gen 1, Squirtle was the very best. Let me know in the comments, out of all these Pokemon, which ones have I put in the wrong spot? I'm sure I've put a lot too low, maybe some too high. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.